It's Susan at Seaside Stitches. Whoops. Susan at Seaside Stitches, and I'm on to say I have had a really good productive week of sewing. I have finished this dress that I talked about. I'm not going to show it to you because I haven't tucked in the neckline. It's finished, but that needs stay stitching inside, and it needs the seams on the it needs overlocking on the seams and just hemming, and then it's done, and I'm really pleased with it. It's really cheery. It's got my little lions and tigers and ocelots or whatever they are on it. It's got my fancy sleeve with a cuff, and I'm very pleased with it, with my cuff from a Harper cardigan, my Susan statement sleeve. So that's it, and I'm pleased with that. So I've trundled along with that. More By Annie bags here in the making. The thing I am really pleased about is that I have been tracing patterns, and I very, very rarely trace patterns. In fact, I think I've only ever traced the Freya top from Tilly and the Button Stretch. And I traced the Jenna dress, which was free, and it's a dress by Hand London, and it's on this one it's called the Jenna dress. And I really fancied making it, but it's double-sided on the pattern, so I had to trace it, and it's taken me a couple of weeks to decide whether I would, whether I wouldn't, whether I would just cut through the other, but then I couldn't because one of them was a skirt, the skirt. I've got an issue at the moment. I've got a yearning for a pinafore dress. I have loads of ribbed polo necks, all different colours, and they're getting a bit jaded and they're getting a bit old, but I wanted to use a pinafore dress for them. So anyway, I like the idea of this square neck, even if I don't have it as a pinafore. But it says it should be with woven. I'm never very keen on woven fabrics, but, well, I may cheat and I may not use woven, but anyway, let's see how I go on. So I'm pleased with the actual getting on and tracing it ready. That was the main thing. So I've got it on one side ready, and then if I want to make it, I will make it, and I'll make whatever I want to make with it. And I'm also inspired by the fact that I've seen it, Rachel at Stitched Up. It was in one of her makes and she was wearing it and she looks really nice in it, and the way she'd altered it, I don't know that I'd be able to alter it in the way she was talking about altering the darts and turning them and almost rotating them. I didn't know what she was talking about, but anyway, it doesn't matter, because I too am very shallow at the top, and she was talking about trying to make sure she didn't have a gape in it. We'll see how that goes. So that's that. Anyway, I bought the Nina Lee Camden skirt and pinafore dress as a proper pattern. I managed to get hold of a proper pattern, and following the tutorial that Andrea did on Beyond the Pink Door of the Camden skirt, which I've seen before and really fancied, but it's quite short and I didn't know whether I'd like it or not. Because I've got a yen for a pinafore at the moment, I managed to get this pattern. I chased it all over the place, and I was so pleased that I managed to get one, because I wasn't doing another PDF. So I was very fortunate in that I got one of the final lot of paper patterns. I'm sure there may still be some about, but I believe they're no longer going to print them as paper patterns. But I've got to be really in the mood before I decide to do a PDF pattern. And I'm really pleased that I managed to find this pattern. So I'm on the way with it. I've come across a few little niggles and problems and mistakes of my own and alterations and things, which I've just been videoing part of today. Hasn't been meant to be a sew along, because I didn't want to do a sew along, and I wanted to get on with doing the sewing, not having sew along chats where I get very distracted on sew alongs. So anyway, I will show you how far I've got. I have the bodice just on the model. Can't really see it very well because it's dark. I'm really not sure whether it's going to actually fit me. I've just put a pin on each shoulder, and I've clipped it to the thing underneath. I don't know if it's going to fit me or not. As you see, the stripe thing behind, I haven't yet hemmed it. Tilly and the Buttons fabric, and it was done for the t-shirt thing in June, and I realised I hadn't finished it, I will finish it. I'm on with doing lots of my finishing off things. Anyway, this was just a quick pop in to say hello. It's a quick update. I am doing things, and I have been absolutely buzzing about doing this decluttering thing. It has completely changed the way my mind has been stuffed with rubbish. I've managed to sort things out. I have decluttered to a large degree. I've reorganised my sewing space so that I've got this sofa bed is over this side now, and I've got much more room over there, and the only thing I'm still plagued by is proper lighting. I cannot get the lighting right in here, and by the sewing machine I get so frustrated. So if any of you have had a really good experience with a sewing light, I would really, that sounds a bit strange, if you've come across a light that has definitely illuminated your sewing space around your sewing machine, I would be very pleased to hear about it. I've got this massive ring light now here for videoing, and I've also spent something like £48 or something like that on a little tiny light that goes a camera or a phone setup for videoing, but I don't have the connections to put it together with my phone. So but even that's just about videoing. It's not enough to have enough light on what I'm actually sewing. So I do need to get something because it's getting on my nerves. But I've got a good setup now of where things are, and I have videoed some of that. So I may just put that in a separate video when it's not too long. I don't want to do oh, come and look at my wonderful sewing room, because it's not wonderful. But I am very grateful and very privileged in a way that I can turn something over to be a sewing room rather than the corner of my bedroom or the corner of the back room or something that I know I've used in the past, and also that I don't have to fit it in after work or before work or whatever, because I'm more or less retired. So I do appreciate, that's the word I was looking for, I do appreciate all that. And but I also would like to share some of the way I've started to store my fabrics, and it's been good for me really, because it's made me realise no, I don't have a massive stash, and that's fine, because I don't want it all to be built up and then be overwhelming to me. But I have got rather more quilting cottons than I had initially intended to have, and some of that has been sparked by this obsession by Annie Patterns. And here is another one. This is a Peacekeeper, and it's only for keeping pieces of projects in, but I really like it. And yes, okay, so thank you for listening, and I shall be back with you in a little while with whatever else I've put together in this video. Thank you. Welcome to my sewing room, my new setup. Here we have the pattern and some of the pieces for the Nina Lee Camden Pinafore. And so I'm doing it out of stretch denim. You don't need to use a stretch. And I'm just lining it with some polyester satin from Fabrics at Fleetwood. So I don't know if I can do a quick whiz round, and then I'm just having you with me really. I'm not really doing a sew along or anything. I'm just showing you how it is and what I'm up to, and just spending time with you. So welcome. On the back of the chair is an inside out dress that just needs overlocking, and the seams just need overlocking and the hem doing, and then that is complete. And then the machine is set up ready for sewing a bit more of the pinafore, and I think that's all you need to know really. So welcome. I should just take you around the block to where else. Okay, so I had sorted out the sofa and made it nice and neat, and I'm quite happy with it. I know what's on it. I know what there is to do. It's quite sorted. I'm not flummoxed about it. That is a shirt blouse that I started in April. Apparently I cut it out on before the 27th of April because I've seen it on a video recently. And the stripe, Tilly and the Buttons fabric top is one that I did for Joey Sews, just tipping it down. Anyway, t-shirt challenge that I never did because I got everything ready, but then I didn't do any sewing since after that. I didn't do any videoing after that. Coming around the room, and we're back to hello. So off we go. Hi, just checking in, and again the light is rubbish, but never mind. The bodice lining from the Nina Lee Camden Pinafore, Camden dress or whatever you want to call it, and this is me just being a little bit cautious with all my pinning. Hi, I have had a brilliant week, and I'm so pleased to be able to share with you that I've done quite a few things that I've not done before. I'm just showing you that I've cut out the Nina Lee Camden Pinafore, and I have cut out the fabric. I have lengthened the skirt quite considerably, but I can take that up again if it's too long. And I am in the process of sewing the pockets on. I have the lining cut out, which is just a navy blue polyester satin. I have had a really productive week of sewing, and since Thursday or Friday I've been using this table. Friday, I think it's now Monday morning. I've been using it opened out so that I can cut out my garments and prepare them and just come back to the table when I need to have somewhere to sit and do the little bits rather than just the sewing. I've been very productive. I'm so pleased with myself and the way things are going in this sewing room, and I've had to take less of the seam allowance to make sure it fits me, and it's a work in progress. I will have to take it back or redo some of it if it doesn't, so I'm not bothered about that. But I've made lining, and I have not used satiny lining before, and I've done a quirky white. I do have navy or deep royal blue or black, but I did do this. It's kind of got that denim look to it, and I've done finished the denim part of the bodice in the same way. I'm quite pleased with that. And I've also picked up off the floor the sleeves that I'm putting together for this this shirt that I did start in April. And yes, so things are coming along. I've just had to unpick where I've attached the the back, which one am I on? The side back to the back. It didn't quite go as swimmingly as I thought. I got a little pucker on the back, so it's okay. I've pressed it and I've worked out which is the pucker and which is just a crease. So I'm just going to undo that and just re-sew around there. So I'm buzzing really, and that's kind of all I needed to say. I don't want this video to be over long, so I may just do one where I've showing the bits that I've done for the decluttering, and then just this kind of a bit more optimistic me that's getting on with things, and finishing works in progress, or getting part way with works in progress, a bit further on with works in progress, and then come back to when I've actually finished the garments and show you them on another video. Okay, so that's me checking in for now. I've got to watch the time because we're going drumming tonight, and that's quite exciting. So see you again soon. Bye.